Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Northwest Indiana, where we strive to put love at the center of how we show up in the world. I'm Maggie Reister, your worship assistant this morning. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved, just as you are. You are welcome here. Today, our worship service will be led by Sandy Waters, our member. Since not everyone can attend in person, we are streaming this worship service online, and we extend a special welcome to all who are joining us virtually. The joys and sorrows portion, however, is private. We will temporarily pause the stream for that. Otherwise, this worship service is being recorded and will be available for future viewing on our website. Another way that we walk together is by joining together for fun and fellowship. And I know we have a live announcement. You can come on up here. I also, there is a fundraising effort to eliminate $1.5 million of Hoosier medical debt. There is a barcode. This is Northwest Indiana Democratic Socialist Association. I don't know. See Carl. Raise your hand, Carl. Eliminate the debt. This is eliminate medical debt. They can come talk to you about. Oh, it's not you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well, okay. Then this will be available in the parish hall. We have a live announcement, and
I just wanted to thank everybody who came to our bocce ball fundraiser at our house last night. We raised about $600, so that was exciting. Also, next week is the last Sunday to bring in diapers for the diaper drive. We were collecting with other churches. We were invited by New Day Church in Hobart to join with them and a couple other churches in Hobart to collect diapers for the Brickies from the Start Hobart diaper pantry, so emergency diaper pantry. People get like 5 diapers at a time, that lasts like one day. But so they are going to join with us next Sunday at 2:00 after service to have a little potluck and bag diapers in groups of 5. But New Day, I don't think it's a very big church, but they posted that they have like 800 diapers so far. So, I mean, I know we asked you a lot to donate to a lot of stuff, but if you do have extra and you want to donate diapers, we have a few packs out there, but I thought maybe we could step it up a little bit. And if you want to bring more diapers next week, size 4 and up, and if you'd like to stay till 2:00 next week and help us bag groceries with the other churches. Okay, thanks.
thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Carl. We have one more announcement. Monday, October 20th at 5 p.m., the Eyewitness Palestine 2025 delegates will be giving a report back on their recent trip to the West Bank, thank you, at Grindhouse Cafe. That is in Highland, 3805 Ridge Road in Highland. For more information, talk to Carl Wolf. Thank you, Carl. Please now take a moment to look around the room, all these beautiful shining souls, and greet your neighbor with a wave, with a smile. I don't care if you run across the room and hug them, that's great too. We're happy to be together. Good morning. Now, please turn off or silence your devices, all of them. If you think you did, just double check. Turn off your phone. Turn it off, please. Thank you. And as you do so, allow yourself to enter sacred time together. Take a breath and another, and join in a spirit of reverence. Each week during our Sunday morning worship service, we join in reciting the words of our affirmation of faith, printed in your order of service and on the screen. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament. Service is its prayer, and this is our covenant. To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Brother's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off name, that is a new creation. No storm can shake my inmost calm. And all my clinging since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? I hear the music ringing. Sounds of heaven in my soul. How can I keep from singing? No storm can shake my inmost calm. Unto that rock I'm clinging, since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? The tempest round me roar, I hear the truth declare. The darkness round me close, salt in the night. The night giveth no storm can shake my inmost calm. Unto that rock I'm clinging, since love is Lord of heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing? From singing.
We gather, oops, that's not. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. It suggests the transformations that take place when we are held within religious community. When we light the chalice and worship, we illuminate a world that we feel called upon to serve with love and a sense of justice. Please join us in lighting our chalice by reading together the words on the screen and in your order of service. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. And now, please join together in singing the doxology.
The words for the invocation are by Ashley Hope Perez, author of the banned book, Out of Darkness, and this is from an interview on NPR. The needs of all students matter, not just those whose lives and identities line up with what book banners think is acceptable. Young people have a right to the resources and stories that help them mature, learn, and understand their world in all its diversity. They need more opportunities, not fewer, to experience deep imaginative engagement and the empathy that it inspires. Please rise, and as you're able, to sing the opening hymn, number 325, in your gray hymnal, and the words should be on the screen. Please be seated. The story I'm reading today is the great banned books bake sale. And it's dedicated to Mrs. McLean, my kid's incredible first school librarian, who always kept books on display that were windows, mirrors, and sliding glass doors, and to all librarians who fight for the freedom to read. Kanzi skips to the front of the line. It is her turn to lead the class to the library, and Kanzi loves the library. As they walk down the hallway, they pass by the beautiful tapestry that she helped bring to life. It shows all her classmates' names in the Arabic language, in the design of an Arabic quilt. It hangs perfectly on the wall, and the names of her classmates crookedly connected. Each name looks beautiful. The quilt was a way for Kanzi to share a little about her homeland of Egypt. After that, she was no longer the new kid in school. She was someone her classmates knew and accepted. Kanzi touches the quilt as she walks past. Then she steps a little quicker, a little stronger, a little happier. She promised her Tita she'd bring home a book with Arabic words home from the library. But when she walks into the library, Kanzi freezes. The bookcase, where the new diverse books were displayed, has been emptied. The books showing people of many identities, backgrounds, and walks of life, books for everyone, are gone. Where are all the books? Mrs. Haugen talks quietly to the librarian, Miss Jackson. Then she turns to the kids. She takes off her glasses, looking discouraged. Unfortunately, our school district has banned many beautiful, diverse books. She says, many other districts around the country are doing the same thing. Banned? What does that mean, Molly asks. It means those books are not allowed in the library or classrooms, Miss Jackson says. Why would anyone ban books, Kanzi asks. Miss Jackson gropes for words. Some books are so powerful that they intimidate people, she finally says. Kanzi searches the shelves but can't find any books with children who look like her. There are no books with Arabic words to share with Tita either. Finally, she gives up searching and sits down to write in her poetry notebook instead. Whenever she gets upset, words flow easily on paper, more easily on paper than off her tongue. Molly and other classmates gather near Kanzi in solidarity. They want her to know that they care, too. When they walk back to class, Kanzi lags behind. She walks a little slower, a little smaller, a little sadder. She passes by the quilt with her eyes down, not looking at it. Mrs. Haugen noticed the roaring silence in the room at snack time. What are your thoughts about what we saw in the library? She asks the kids. Kanzi wants to answer, but the words are stuck in her throat. Will my voice be stuck forever? She wonders. Is my voice even important? Kareem raises both hands. Not fair. I like books that show people who look like me and my family. Mrs. Haugen says that people around the country are outraged at the book bans. People are responding in many ways, she tells the class. They're protesting, writing letters, and buying more copies of the banned books. Could we raise money to buy books that are banned? Kareem asks. As Kanzi swallows the last of the delicious Egyptian treat Tita packed for her, she has an idea. What about a bake sale? She finally chimes in. And we can make signs and posters, Kareem says. Yeah, we can donate the books we buy to little free libraries, Molly says. They continue to brainstorm. Great ideas, a bake sale and a protest, Mrs. Haugen says. We can call it the Great Banned Books Bake Sale and Protest, Kareem says. One of my favorite books, Jamal's Joyful Day, has a pie in it. Maybe we can bake food from books that are banned. Fantastic, Mrs. Haugen says. Today is Tuesday. Let's schedule our bake sale for Friday afternoon after school. We can hold it outside if the weather is good, or in the gym if it's raining. That gives us 3 days, so let's get to work. My aunt works at the local news. She loves when I give her ideas, Claire says. I'll let her know. At home, Kanzi tells Tita what happened. They may try to ban our stories, but they can never silence our voices, Habibi, her grandmother, says. They bake baklava, a favorite dessert from a book they once read together, a book that is now on the banned list. As they layer the flaky phyllo dough, Tita shares stories from the Egyptian uprising of 2011. We camped out in Tahrir Square for days. We looked after each other. We demanded what we needed for our communities to live and thrive. Bread, freedom, social justice. I myself held one end of a banner on which those words were written in Arabic. All through the week, the school buzzes about the bake sale and protest. Friday is a mild, sunny day. When the closing bell rings, Kanzi's class gathers up their baked goodies and hurries outside to the tables that have been set up. The baked goods sell out quickly. Time to start the protest. But where are the news reporters, Kanzi says. We can't wait any longer to start speaking up. We can do this, Kareem says. He raises the megaphone and begins to chant, "No banned books, no banned books." The crowd picks up the chant. The principal joins in, teachers, Kanzi's swimming coach, and teammates. And as they chant, the TV news vans arrive and set up their cameras and microphones. Tita, Mama, Baba, and Zakaria join Kanzi just as Mrs. Haugen begins to speak into the megaphone. Today, our students are brave, she says. Today, our students are loud. Thanks to you, they have raised enough money to purchase dozens of banned books, important books, diverse books. I hope everyone is as proud of them as I am. And now let's hear from the kids. Tita nudges Kanzi to take the megaphone. Kanzi takes a step back, but then she remembers Tita's words. She remembers her family's stories. She remembers her classroom's quilt. She notices familiar faces and new faces, and she finds her voice. She reads the poem she wrote at the library, and as she reads, the crowd begins to chant again. No banned books, no banned books. Books are for everyone. Am I not important? Am I invisible? Books make us think. Books make us imagine. Books make us compassionate. Books make us creative. Books make us love. You have banned important books, but you can't ban my words. Books are for everyone. Her voice gets stronger and clearer. When she finishes, the crowd cheers and continues to chant. The following week, Mrs. Haugen makes an announcement. The district reversed the book ban, she tells the kids. Your voices are powerful. Our beautiful books are back on the shelves. We did it, Kanzi says. Our voices are important. She stands in line with her peers, and they march to the library again, taking big, bright, bubbly steps. Kanzi touches the Arabic quilt as she walks past.
Each week, we share a portion of our Sunday offering with a social justice cause outside our church walls. This one's actually in our church. Well, no, it is outside and in. We're sharing loose change for social change for the family giving, because you know the holiday season is coming. Donations in the basket will go to sustaining the mission of our congregation. The donations in the cups goes to support the work of our family giving project. For those not with us today, there's an online link for both one-time and regular donations. Would 4 volunteers please come forward to carry the baskets and the cups?
In the center of our service and in the center of our lives, let us pause to honor the silences of the world. Let us open our hearts to the place of quiet, the silent prayer for the healing of pain, and the soft, gentle coming of love. Take a moment of silence. I now invite you to come forth to light a candle of memory or hope, or just sit quietly as the music holds you in a meditative space. Now let us fill this sacred space with the names of the loved ones we hold close in our hearts this morning, some suffering in sorrow, some celebrating in joy. Call out the names. This one, Ra, use that one, or that one, which one? Or this one. Makes good sense. May they feel the warmth of our embrace. Thank you.
You are now invited to briefly share a private joy or sorrow, to hold them together so that the lightness of our joys lifts us all up, and so that the heaviness of our sorrows feels easier to bear. In a moment, I will come around the room with a microphone, cordless, so that anyone who wishes to a joy or sorrow can do so. When I come to you, please share your name with us.
fabric of this community into ever more beautiful patterns. The breath of nature is upon us, the spirit of life is within us, and the community of love is around us. May it ever be so. And now please join in singing the centering hymn. No need to rise. Number 155, Circle Around for Freedom, in your gray hymnals. The words will be on the screen. And I apologize if you could hear me singing. My voice is not quite up to it. The reading is from Julia Donaldson, and it's, I opened a book. I opened a book, and in it I strode. Now nobody can find me. I've left my chair, my house, my road, my town, and my world behind me. I'm wearing the cloak. I've slipped on the ring. I've swallowed the magic potion. I've fought with a dragon, dined with a king, and dived in a bottomless ocean. I opened a book and made some friends. I shared their tears and laughter and followed their road with its bumps and bends to the happily ever after. I finished my book and out I came. The cloak no longer hide me. My chair and my house are just the same, but I have the book inside me. Let me start with the first paragraph of the PEN America report on the banned books in American schools for the school year 2024-2025. In 2025, book censorship in the United States is rampant and common. Never before have so many books been systematically removed from school libraries across the country. Never before have so many states passed laws or legislation to facilitate the banning of books, including bans on specific titles statewide. Never before have so many politicians sought to bully school leaders into censoring according to their ideological preferences, even threatening public funding to exact compliance. Never before has access to so many stories been stolen from so many children. How many books are we talking about? The number is 6,870. 6,870 instances of book bans in our schools for the 2024-2025 school year. And that number, 6,870, does not include the books that are banned from public libraries throughout the country. The states with the most school bans are, as you might expect, Florida and Texas, with the state in which the Scopes monkey trial happened, Tennessee, not far behind. Looking just at the school library bans for a moment, we can see that attacks on student rights and educational institutions are symptoms of a much larger disease, the dismantling of public education and a weakening of democracy. Looking beyond the school libraries, we see that book banning is increasingly taking place in our public libraries, and that librarians' lives, and even those of authors, have been threatened. We think that book burnings are a thing of the past, or something that only happens in a foreign country. Well, pyres have been lit for books in Alamogordo, New Mexico, Charleston, South Carolina, Canton, North Carolina, Nashville, Tennessee, East Lansing, Michigan, Boone, North Carolina, and Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Today is the first day of Banned Books Week, an awareness campaign launched by the American Library Association in 1982. It is a celebration of the freedom to read and of drawing special attention to the banned and challenged books which are removed from libraries so that people who wish to read them are limited in their ability to do so. Being able to read books that challenge us and ask us to engage with new ideas, even though we might disagree with, is foundational to a strong and vital democracy. And banning books is a form of censorship, a crippling suppression of ideas, information, and stories that is nearly always the result of one group, sometimes even one person, imposing their beliefs on others. As many of you know, I collect children's books. Many of the books from my library have been used on Sundays in the Story for All Ages. Several of those books have been banned from school and public libraries because someone or some group decided they didn't want those stories to be heard or read to young children. Any children, not just theirs. Dreamers by Yuri Morales, a beautifully illustrated and lovingly told book about an immigrant mother making her place in a country, was read here. Last Stop on Market Street has been read at least 3 times in our church, most recently by our new minister, because it so perfectly exemplifies kindness and community and finding joy in unexpected places. Hair Love, a sweet and empowering story about a father doing his very best to build his daughter's self-confidence, is one of the many children's banned books. These are just a few of the many books for children that have been banned. Why are they banned? Because they feature stories about people who are different, or they tell the story of a wrong being done to a person or group of people, or they tell the story of a child who is disobedient. Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are is a perfect example. Or a character in the book is nude, with absolutely no salacious intent, examples being Maurice Sendak's In the Night Kitchen and Eric Carle's Draw Me a Star. Or they tell a story about a person from another culture or country. The Librarian of Basra by Jeanette Winter is an example. Or what is even sillier, they are banned because they have animals speaking and acting like humans. Charlotte's Web by E.B. White is a prime example. Leaving behind the world of young children's literature, let me move on to that which is written with teen and young adult readers in mind. Here is where the people who want to ban books, who have made it their mission to silence marginalized voices and restrict access to diverse perspectives and stifle critical thinking and undermine democracy, here is where they do the most damage to our children. On the table over there is a display of some of the most frequently targeted titles of 2024 from the American Library Association. Each of the books has a slip of paper in it describing one of the episodes of removing and banning, and each of the books has faced multiple removals and bans throughout the country. Most of them are award-winning, critically acclaimed, recommended by librarians and groups that work with teens and young adults, and popular with the young people that are able to read them. At least 3 of them have been made into movies or television series. With all of that going for them, why are they banned? For the people who demand that these books be removed from school and public libraries, the books are too explicit, or too revealing of difficulties that young people may face, or they tell a story about people they don't feel comfortable with, or they point out the failures of our country, or sometimes simply because there is a word or words, gay, queer, racism, Black, Latino, AIDS, civil rights, just a few of the words, Or a name, Ruby Bridges, Thurgood Marshall, Nelson Mandela, Ann Hutchinson, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Let's be clear. Parents have the right and actually the responsibility to be aware of and have some say about what their children read. But that right and concern only extends to their own children. They do not have the right to control what the children of others read. And groups such as Mothers for Liberty, and I think they need to read a dictionary or two that defines the word liberty, also have no business outside their own children directing what anyone can be allowed to read. When I was in graduate school, I took a course called The Fairy Tale and the Emergence of the Self. It was part of a complet program. And one of the books we read was Bruno Bettelheim's The Uses of Enchantment. In that book, Bruno Bettelheim essentially prescribes fairy tales to kids. That he says kids need to read fairy tales because it will help them cope with what they're going through as they grow up. Now, this was 40 some years ago when I took this course. And I remember coming out of the class and thinking, well, darn, does that mean you just take, 2 little Red Riding Hoods and 1 Jack and the Beanstalk and you'll be okay? And I kind of didn't understand what he was talking about until I had my own children. And I started reading books to them and buying books for them and taking them to the library. And I started seeing that what he was saying, although he was kind of confined to fairy tales, is true about what children read. And mental health professionals have come out clearly and strongly against the banning of books, especially the banning of such books as you see on that table. The majority of banned books, especially those for teens and young adults, contain stories about marginalized individuals. And a writer for Psychology Today says that banning books about the lived experiences and histories of marginalized groups of people only serves to increase feelings of exclusion and invisibility and intensify their risk of mental health. And for children and teens, banning diverse books robs them of the opportunity to have an open dialogue and engage in critical thinking in a safe, supportive environment. The reality is that everyone loses when books are banned because it discourages reading, turning our attention towards social media, web surfing, television, which negatively impacts the brain's ability to sustain attention, reduces long-term memory foundation and retrieval, and discourages analytical thinking. Siggy George, a high school librarian, writes that for children, book bans not only stifle critical thinking, but banning books can have an adverse effect on the emotional growth of children, as literature often addresses difficult and sensitive themes and situations that are part of the human experience. He also points out what I think is one of the most important things a book can do for anyone, child or adult: provide insight and understanding into the lives of others. Literature, with its capacity to transport readers into different cultures, experiences, and perspectives, serves as a potent tool for nurturing empathy, which seems to be a problem for people, and understanding. Book bans, by limiting access to such diverse voices, deprives children of the opportunity to walk in the shoes of others. Exposure to characters from different backgrounds, ethnicities, and life circumstances promotes empathy by enabling children to relate to and understand the experiences of those that are unlike themselves. This not only fosters a more compassionate and inclusive society, but also equips children with the skills to navigate an increasingly diverse and interconnected world. Siggy George also writes about the impact on schools and libraries and society as a whole. But I want to draw attention to her use of the words diverse and inclusive, because I truly believe that opposition to those ideals, along with equity and some kind of shame with regard to the heinous parts of our national history, are the chief drivers of book banning ideologues. Someone I don't know, and I don't remember where I read it, said that the people today who want to ban books by or about Ruby Bridges are descendants of the people who stood in the doorway and jeered at Ruby Bridges on November 14th, 1960, at William Frantz Elementary School. And while that may not be true genealogically speaking, it is certainly true of the ethos of those who would keep books out of the hands and minds of those who would benefit from them. Children come in many different skin colors and have many different experiences in their lives. Imagine all the different ways in which a child or young adult could be marginalized. Experiencing sexual violence, experiencing the death of a parent, grandparent, or sibling, experiencing a school shooting, growing and maturing and going through the natural processes that go along with it, struggling with their own sexual identity, being handicapped or otherwise challenged, etc., etc., etc. While what good or thoughtful or kind person would even begin to think that removing and banning books that would give that child or young adult a sense of belonging and accepting would be a good thing to do? Why would you want to silence the voices that would be uplifting and soothing and empowering to the very young humans who need such support? Ruby Bridges herself asks, I cannot understand why we are banning books. My books are written to bring people together. Why would they be banned? But the real question is, why are we banning books at all? Surely we are better than that. For me, the question now is what to do about it. How do we fight against this scourge, which has increased significantly since the American Library Association began its Ban Books Week observation in 1982? First of all, read banned books. Support the organizations that fight against book bans and support the right to read. Find a way to become aware of book bans that are being proposed in your school district and in your local library. Go to school board meetings when you learn of an attempt to ban a book in the school library and become a supporter of your local library. The books displayed on the table here are from the American Library Association's list of 2024's most banned books, and they're here for you to borrow and read. Inside each book is a white card. If you want to borrow the book for yourself or someone who might benefit from reading it, please put your name on the white card and place the card in the red bowl on the table. Also, alongside the table are copies of a list of organizations that work against book bans and a letter that Barack Obama wrote to the librarians of America, as well as bookmarks and wristbands. So my advice to you, and I hope I take this advice myself all the time, let us not allow the voices of the other to ever, ever, ever be silenced. Let us never allow the true history of our country to be suppressed. Let us never forget that our freedom to read is part of our larger constellation of freedoms that are being challenged. I am reminded of a statement made by The Little Prince in the book of the same name by Antoine Saint-Exupéry. He that is different from me enriches me. And each and every one of us can only ever benefit from that enrichment. Thank you. And please rise as you're willing and able for the closing hymn, Come and Go With Me, in the teal hymnal.
I invite you now to join in reciting the words on the screen and in your order of service to accompany the extinguishing of our chalice. We
Extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. This is from a piece written by Barack Obama. Here's why I'm celebrating Banned Books Week. Not only is it important for young people to see themselves represented in the pages of the book, but it's also important for all of us to engage with different ideas and points of view. At some level, we are all connected. We share a common humanity. If we listen to each other instead of trying to silence certain voices and shut down debate, we can see each other for who we are and maybe even change some minds, or at least learn to live together. If we don't, we'll only grow further apart. There's also a very particular American tradition enshrined in the First Amendment that freedom begins with our capacity to share and access ideas, even ideas we may disagree with or find deeply offensive. That's why I'm celebrating Banned Books Week and the freedom to read with people across the country, because the ability to learn about each other and engage with different ideas doesn't just open our minds and broaden our perspectives, it brings communities together and strengthens our democracy. Please join us in the parish hall for goodies and conversation. And make sure you take a good look at the table of the books. There are two readings, two pieces of paper, one with the organizations that fight against book bans and another with a letter that Barack Obama wrote to a librarian. And I think they're both wonderful, so please grab them and take a look at the books.
You're the best. You live there. Watch out. There's something before I get the car. You must have been 12 at night.
Oh, we read 3 books every night, or 3 stories every.